My name is Trung Nguyen, and on behalf of our journal management team, I will present an overview of our journal, the Journal of Ecology and Climate Change Mitigation, here abbreviated as JEC. There are four main sections that I'm going to talk about today. In the introduction, I'll introduce who we are, our vision and missions, our journal and its workflow. Then I'll move on to present the business model that we are starting with, the existing infrastructure that we've got, and finally, some points that we want to discuss. Our group consists of 3 young and enthusiastic researchers from Colorado State University, which are Yu Neng, a PhD in economics, specializes in CGE modeling and climate change policies. Gui Hook, a PhD candidate in forest sciences, specializes in forest restoration, land policy, and economics. And me, Trung Nguyen, a PhD candidate in soil and crop sciences, specialized in ecosystem modeling and bioenergy life cycle assessment. Our core skills concentrate more on research and management and less on IT, business, and marketing. Our vision for open access journal path is that it could be the next big thing in scientific communication, especially for developing countries like Vietnam. Just take Vietnam as an example. As of 2016, there are only 2 open access journals indexed in the directory of open access journals. They are Vietnam Journal of Computer Science and the Journal of Advances in Natural Sciences, Nanoscience, and Nanotechnology. There is only one open access repository indexed in the directory of open access repositories, the National University of Ho Chi Minh. We realize that there are great opportunities for open access journal model to be developed in developing countries to help accelerate global scientific communication. And so we set up our mission to create a quality open access platform to facilitate the assemblage and distribution of scientific research and education in mitigating the impacts of climate change. This platform is also to support early career scientists like us in developing their professional skills. For the journal, we tentatively aim at attracting and promoting studies that use ecological approaches for climate change mitigation, as well as those that discuss policy implication of these approaches. Our initial audience target is researchers in Vietnam, since we have broader networks and connections there. But broader audiences will be considered as the journal grows or as we have more supports and better orientations. We chose original research and review papers to start with. Publication frequency is 1 volume of 2 or 3 issues per year, about 5 to 10 papers per issue. All papers will be published in electronic format only, either PDF or HTML or both. All manuscripts should be thoroughly peer-reviewed with fast turnover rates. To ensure the quality of the papers and the journal operation, we will follow the best practice suggested by the Directory of Open Access Journals, as well as making sure that our data is frequently backed up. In order to attract more submission at the beginning, we are thinking of pursuing the Diamond Open Access policy, which giving free passes to both readers and authors. All applicable material will be licensed under CC BY copyright. Our workflow is set up for a maximum of 139 days per manuscript from submission to online publishing, including 112 days for the review process, 17 days for the editorial process, and 10 days for the publishing process. Most of the steps within the editorial and publishing processes will temporarily be handled by our management team. The business model that we chose for our journal is self-publishing with non-profit operation. For this, we formed a group in charge of publishing and coined ourselves as Rocky Mountain Science. For this business model, we identified, to our best knowledge, 4 main components that need to be handled. The first one is technical. Things like building, hosting, maintaining the website, the journal management system, and others like graphics, DOI, ISSN, and indexing. The second one is administration. such as bookkeeping, HR recruiting, in-house communication, scheduling, and so on. The third one is marketing. Things like search engine optimization, SEO, market and target research, online and offline marketing, and partnership communication and relationship. The last one is scientific, that is directly linked to editorial workflow and scientific quality assurance. Cost estimation is one of the most important things associated with our startup. Here we present 3 cases of the CapEx and OpEx costs for running the journal. All the costs here were estimated for the publishing of 30 manuscripts per year. The fixed costs include website hosting, archival, DOI membership and fees, and the management system maintenance as a custom rate of $75 per hour. We estimated that at least 15 hours will be spent for copy editing, layout editing, and typesetting. Herein we use typesetting for short. The best case scenario is when we use 100% of our volunteer in-house labor for typesetting. We do not use paid marketing, and we only bear load maintenance and administration costs. The mid-case scenario is when we have to hire someone to help with the typesetting at a low cost of $10 per hour rate. And we also spend around $5 per manuscript for marketing. The maintenance and administration costs increase a little bit. The worst case scenario is when we have to outsource 100% of the typesetting at a $30 per hour rate. We spend about $10 per manuscript for marketing, and the maintenance and administration costs also increase accordingly. More details about the assumptions and cost estimates can be found in the spreadsheet in the description. There are 4 financing strategies that we are currently considering, including volunteer-based, which members volunteer to contribute time, labor, and money to operate the journal. Sponsorship, in which regular donation and grants are received from sponsors and external sources. Affiliation, for which journal can establish connections and affiliations with universities, research institutes, and government agencies for financial, labor, and infrastructure supports. And lastly, providing additional services like translation, presentation, workshop, and training. Sponsorship and volunteer are identified to be the 2 main strategies at the beginning. We'll present some of the legwork that have been done regarding to founding the journal. First of all, we have created a website and a journal management system using an open source software called Open Journal System, OJS. The website is being hosted with openjournalsystem.com, a hosting company in Phoenix, Arizona. We also created a branding package for our journal, including organizational emails, logo, masthead, journal cover, volume cover, several templates including manuscript format, citation template for Zotero, and issue samples. Regarding to guidelines, we created a set of workflow guides for authors, reviewers, and editors to help navigate through our system, as well as to synchronize the workflow between different involved parties. In terms of manpower, our management team consists of 3 members, as introduced at the beginning of the slides. We will be temporarily in charge of the administration and technical processes. We're also trying to expand our team to ease the handling of all the complicated managing tasks. As for editorial team, which is the heart of the journal, we are reaching out and would be greatly honored if the 2 outstanding experienced professors, Professor Mahida Siriwardana from the University of New England, Australia, and Professor Mark Paskey from Colorado State University, United States, could be our editors and provide us with support and guidance along the journey. This slide shows our journal management system, both front end, meaning the website, and back end. Our website can be accessed at www.mrscience.us. You can register and sign into our backend system as a user, or send requests to jack@rmscience.us to change your role to view more options in the backend workflow. This slide illustrates a sample edited manuscript that will be published in the journal. Here we provide a timeline for our first year. We started planning our idea for this journal in January 2017 and working on all the infrastructure preparation since April 2017. Starting from July, as our preparation work is being wrapped up, we're reaching out for team building effort, both in terms of management and editorial aspects. If we are lucky to have all the supports that we need, we'll be launching our journal and calling for the first issue in December 2017, and then officializing in April 2018, and finally taking off from there to continuously develop the journal and its operations. This slide provides a brief SWOT analysis of our journal. The strengths that we have are enthusiasm, good management and communication skills, and a devoting aspiration to propagate scientific knowledge, especially for the developing world. The opportunities that endow us are the potential support from experienced professors, the existing connections with the academic and governmental organizations, and increasing demand for open access journals in developing countries. Despite all the potentials that we think this journal can become and the opportunities that we might have, we do realize that there are a myriad of obstacles confronting our startup. One of the weaknesses of our journal is that we only have a small team, and our team members are working less than part-time on the journal. We also lack business and marketing skills or someone who can handle these aspects for our journal. Having low budget is another weakness of this startup, since we won't be able to make all the necessary upgrades that we need. There are also several threats involving in the journal operation. For example, since we started as a volunteer-based effort, there might not be enough incentives and obligations to glue the team together for so long. Our financing strategy is sponsorship, which is also highly spontaneous and risky. We might also have scale-up challenges in the future. With that being said, we are seeking advices and supports of all kinds regarding to the points listed below. In particular, we're also interested in knowing how we can improve our journal, if there are all the innovative ideas that are worth of trying, and what we should have done differently. We look forward to meeting and discussing with you soon. Thank you very much for your listening.